26 NFL draft is 1 week away, and half the league has already won or lost their offseason. We just don't know it yet. I was a Cowboys fan, and I've been living in mock drafts. The Cowboys have 2 first-round picks, pick 12, pick 20. Jerry Jones just offered Brandon Aubrey a $7 million a year contract, the biggest for a kicker in the NFL history. Is that a W or no? I've got 2 big winners and 1 big loser of the 2026 offseason, and one of these moves straight up opened a Super Bowl window. Let's get into it. Moving to the NFL. Going to talk about the best and worst moves of 2026. For context, I am using NFL.com article titled 10 Best Moves of the 2026 Offseason So Far. I'll leave a link in the description if y'all want to check it out. And I'm going to start with an entire team because I think they made a lot of great moves. And so I'm just going to call the Raiders offseason a good move. And then I have one from this best of list that I do not think is a good thing. And that will be my worst move of today. The Raiders and the botched Max Crosby trade. I think that's actually going to somehow work out in their favor. It's going to be interesting. They still got Max Crosby. They went out and signed Kirk Cousins to be a placeholder mentor for Fernando Mendoza. Fantastic idea. They went out and got young at linebacker with Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker. Both went to Georgia. Both are studs. Fantastic move. And having 2 linebackers that speak the same language and are highly skilled, like that's massive victory for the Raiders. Veteran nickelback Taron Johnson is going to be great for that secondary. Tyler Linderbaum will be amazing for Mendoza's development. And so will Kirk Cousins. They got this kid in a good spot, I believe. And Kirk Cousins knows his role this time. He signed on knowing that they're drafting Mendoza. In Atlanta, they signed him to a massive contract and then immediately went out and drafted a quarterback number 7, which Kirk was not prepared for. Losing the 2 first-round picks in that Max Crosby trade, that does hurt because they are a young team. They're obviously in a rebuild. Max Crosby doesn't necessarily fit the timeline with a lot of the new signings. But Max Crosby is a beast. Having him on your team is not a negative. It's going to be fantastic for Kwity Paye's development. And Paye's going to have a lot more single coverage during his pass rush. I mean, I love all of it. And I'm excited to watch the Raiders next season. I might even fly to Vegas to watch a game and eat some food. So, Wakuda and Joel Robichon, y'all get ready. Get your plates out. Raiders still need some wide receivers and to keep adding around the edges before they'll really be able to compete in a tough AFC West. They have the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos. Those teams are not going anywhere anytime soon. So, Raiders aren't going to come out and make the playoffs or anything. But I love the moves. I love what they're doing in Vegas. I'm extremely excited for them. Huge move coming up. The Rams traded for Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs. They also went and signed the Chiefs' other cornerback, Jalen Watson. So they got their outsides covered with 2 guys that know each other, know how to play the position. And the Rams' defense is very good anyways. So to tighten up that secondary, which I think is probably the reason they weren't playing in the Super Bowl, was because of a weaker secondary. Like, that's fixed now. And the rest of their team is pretty much the same. I love this move for the Rams. And they went out a couple years ago and traded Jalen Ramsey before winning that first Super Bowl. This kind of seems similar, right? I think it's a good omen for where the Rams are headed. And at the end of the day, the season's going to come down to the wide receivers and Matthew Stafford's health. Can Devontae Adams keep doing his thing? And can he keep dominating in the red zone like he did last year with Stafford? Like, that was impressive. If Devontae can keep doing that, they're in good shape. Puka, I don't really know what's going on with him. I'm not going to speculate what his issues are. But that's unsettling, right? They need him to be in top shape. And I think that's what he's working on. I think he'll get there. But that's still a big question mark looming over. And yeah, again, like if they go, I talked about this previously, but if they go out and get Mekhi Lemon in the first round, like Schrager has them projected to do, man, get your popcorn ready. The Rams are going to be fun. Now, here's my bad move. And I don't necessarily think, like, the player is good. It's just, I don't think this team should have been making this move. Pittsburgh trading for Michael Pittman, formerly of the Colts. It's just a head scratcher to me. I want Pittsburgh to be good. It's good for the game when Pittsburgh is good. But we don't know who's playing quarterback. Rodgers isn't really throwing deep passes these days. He's an all-time great. But like everybody, like all of us, decline is inevitable. I'm 41, and like it hurts after a game. I play soccer. It hurts. My leg, my hips, it hurts. Again, Pittman is a good player, and pairing him with DK Metcalf will be a great addition to the offense. But it doesn't make this Steelers team a Super Bowl contender. I don't even know if it puts them back into the playoffs or in a winning playoff game. So what exactly are they doing? Like, I would rather package those two picks to move around in the draft and start building for the future. They signed McCarthy. So, like, I'm not sure if he's a stopgap or if they actually believe they can win with this roster, but I personally do not see it. And I don't see McCarthy being there longer than 3-4 years. And that, I think, might even be long. Eventually, you got to start losing some games and rebuild. The Steelers have been very impressive. Tomlin is a fantastic coach, kept them above 500, kept them battling and getting into playoffs. But I think it's time to rebuild. At a certain point, you got to throw in the towel and make a new plan. Which move did y'all like? Which move in the offseason changed your Super Bowl prediction? Please leave it in the comments and we'll get into a conversation. Again, I think the Rams will probably be in the Super Bowl. We got to see. The NFC is tough. Actually, all of football is pretty even and tough at the top on both sides, like AFC, NFC. Football is fantastic. Thank you for joining JetKoa Sports. Please subscribe if you like the segment, and I'm going to leave a link to the main video right here. Keep balling, y'all.